has become a graveyard for a record number of people so far this year.
Yeah, people are risking their lives in hope for a better future in Europe. They flee for various reasons: poverty, conflict, climate change, or persecution. The UN estimates that this year alone, over 2,500 people have died on that journey. And the real figure is likely even higher as many boats sink without a trace.
NPR's Ruth Sherlock is currently on a search and rescue ship in the Mediterranean. So, Ruth,
Adventure of the Seas. This is Cartagena Radio. Bring me over.
Yes, ma'am, I read you loud and clear, loud and clear. Can we get a 1-0, please? 1-0.
Adventure of the Seas. This is Cartagena Radio. Please change to channel 27 to 7 over.
ليك حسب الحرة المساكن اللي ماتوا اللي باكي وديسباري وهذه يبانوا لك شغل. كان معايا واحد في لونجلتير محمد، هذا في لونجلتير راني نقول لك في البحر كان يقولوا حبسوا لي هنايا، حبسوا لي شغل كنشوف ديار لي باتيمون لي زوتيل قال لهم اللي حبسوا لي هنا عند لي زوتيل. يتخيلوا البحر واعر، البحر ديجا يقول في القرآن ربي في القرآن يقول لك ربي زعما دايرهم في الجن وهادو دايرهم في الخلا شغل يعيشوا في الصحراء ولا في البحر. البحر مسكون، تحس بصوالح، تحس انت تحس شغل انت ما تشوفهمش بصح تحس.
Rich broadband. It's this rich broadband that Chefnet evokes so bores, mystifies, invites us to be conscious about looking at and consuming. That strikes me as engagement. That strikes me as political. If it generates the discourse that Olaf Möller abhors, so much the better. Prime example of an AV praxis dear to the discourse-happy hipster crowd. It's all about intentions and attitudes instead of engagement. Be it emotional. This is a cinema for people who like to talk about problems and believe their erudite-seeming but vacuous babbling is helpful. Jeez. Somebody's bitter. On paper, this concept looked great, and filming was very interesting and intense. But something had changed. Of course, changed a lot. The images were everywhere. Not the action itself, but the representation had changed, and we had to react to that. Very often in documentary films. But as you're doing that, you very rarely question your own perspective. What do we actually see in these images that are right there in our living rooms? And how can we include the questioning of our own way of seeing these images? Ah. Why is that still playing? I really need a new computer.
maybe I can relate myself to the song.
Lost souls. Yeah, they say some spirits are roaming around in the wilderness, but I heard these people from Libya going to Italy, they died from hypothermia. But I don't know why. Maybe their spirit is still roaming around.
Play. Meron dyan. Wala yan yung pinapat. Ingay malakitan, nais mo'y maging malaya, di ba sila paya wala magagawa. Nga'y biglang nagbago, naging matigas ang iyong ulo, ang payo nila'y sinuway mo.
A ver, el email, salvamento marítimo Cartagena.
Al 10, estamos procediendo para la zona, unos 42 minutos.
De acuerdo, 42 minutos, entra a la zona. Os repito, posición del punto de pasaje de la Matén. 37 grados.
Right where it belongs. What if everything around you isn't quite as it seems? What if
At first glance, the selfies are perfectly ordinary. They have hashtags, the writer took issue with the setting. The Berlin Holocaust Memorial, hovering over the images, strips away the background of the memorial and replaces it with scenes from concerts called Holocaust, a combination of the popular social media hashtag YOLO, you only live once, and Holocaust. It's a phenomenon I had begun to notice in Berlin, and then I started seeing those pictures everywhere. As the chief executive of the London-based Holocaust, she called the Holocaust images powerful and said she welcomed a debate about the issue. The generation of today is one that experiences a great deal through the lens of a phone. And it's not about chastising, exposing, or humiliating them. We try to have challenging conversations about what they want from a picture in that setting.
what's inside of your head? Just creations of your own. Your devils and your gods, all the living and the dead. And you really all alone.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is a message from the church that the opposite is currently performing. Smoking is prohibited in all open nets. If you would like to smoke, please use designated smoking areas inside the ship. Thank you for your cooperation.
quite as it seems. What if all the world you used to know is an elaborate dream? And if you look at your reflection, is that all you want it to be? What if you could look right through the cracks? Would you find yourself afraid to see?